Hello, my friend. Welcome to Live Chats. Oh, it has been a week, my friends. It has been a week. So I was thinking about what can we talk about in chat today? And all of the things on my brain, all of the things I'm thinking about have absolutely nothing to do with the makeup space. I was thinking kind of like, what are we thankful for, like in the beauty space? Like, which channels are we thankful for? Which products are we thankful for? Which brands are we thankful for? And then I got bored with that idea. I was like, that just sounds boring. Like, I wouldn't click on that. I wouldn't watch that. And I couldn't think of anything to replace it. So I was like, you know what? Let's just do like a good old fashioned Q&A. Let's just hang out, talk about whatever the people live here want to talk about. Like, we'll just chill and relax this week. If you're watching this on the replay, I do plan on doing timestamps. I know I slacked on timestamps last week. The chat was kind of all over the place last week as far as flipping back and forth between topics, but I also slacked on the timestamps on What's Makeup. I got like 9 comments about how there's no timestamps. It's just, sometimes I just run out of time, and it's like it's low man on the totem pole as far as priority goes. So I just decided I just didn't want to do it. That's why I didn't do it. But this week there's timestamps. This week we have timestamps for What's Up in Makeup. I put those in. But yeah. So the point is that I am really trying to, I'll try to put timestamps on for this chat. So let's go ahead and just very quickly say hello to the people that are going to be contributing this week, going to be chatting this week, people that are here live in the collective brain of makeup awesomeness. If you're watching this on the replay, you're participating in the comment section down below. All right, Kimberly, so good to see you. Hello, Katie. Good morning, friends. Happy Saturday to you. Good morning, Teresa. Good morning to you and the rest of the moderators. Thank you so much to the moderator team for being here. I just appreciate y'all so much. Teresa and Audra and Flory and Steph, they're amazing. They've all been a part of my life for at least a year and a half. Audra was the most recent to come into my life about a year and a half ago, and everybody else has been around forever. Steph has been a moderator of mine since I don't even know. I have no idea. No idea. And of course, thank you to my husband, John, who's been moderating for like the past year. So thank you so much for that. Yeah, I feel so much more comfortable and feel good knowing that you all are there in case any issues pop up in the chat so that I can focus on speaking, which is difficult sometimes. All right, Liz, good morning to you. Good morning so much. Good morning, getting ready for work. Fabulous. I hope you have a fabulous day. Good morning to Jeannie and Sorojan and Tracy. Good morning. Consuelo and Lupe and Mons and Jen Unboxed and Sherry and Jilly Mac. And if I did not say good morning to you, good morning to you. Thank you so much for being here. All right. So let me go ahead and scroll down. Oh, thank you, my friend Audra. Love bug. You look amazing this morning. Thank you so much. Oh, I'm so sorry, Caitlin. You know what? When it slipped out of my mouth, I thought in my head, is that something that's a problematic phrase? As soon as I said it, because, it's one of those things that it gets into you're raised saying it and you don't realize that it's a bad thing. So I sincerely apologize if that's a problematic phrase. I as soon as it came out, I was wondering, is that something I should, is that something that's problematic? And I was planning on looking it up after stream. So thank you so much. I do sincerely take it back and apologize for saying that. I will do my research and I will make sure that I am educated on that. Thank you, Caitlin, so much for that. I really appreciate it. Let's see. Brianna, Jen, what's on your shirt? It says never forget, and it has things from my childhood. I get all of my shirts at TeePublic. So we have a floppy disk and a VHS tape and a regular tape, music tape. So yes. Good morning to everybody. Okay. Actually, let's yeah, Jen, it's hard to scrub lexicon sometimes. All we can do is try to do better next time. Absolutely. Oh, 100%. And it's definitely, it's one of those things where, we didn't, there were so many things we didn't realize were problematic because we weren't interconnected as a society, for the longest time, for, up and through, my 20s. We were not interconnected as a society. So we didn't know, people didn't have a voice to say when a phrase was problematic. They didn't have a large platform to say, hey, this is not all right. It's not okay to say this. This bothers me. This is offensive to my culture. And there were a lot, we lived in our little bubbles, but now with social media, we were talking about in What's in Makeup today about Lush and how saying social media is so dangerous. But I do think that there are some positives of social media, and that's one of them, is so that we can learn things, about different words. There were definitely words that I didn't know before social media were offensive. And now I'm learning as we go, which things are like, because when you're not part of a culture, you don't realize, the things that are important to that culture because you don't live in it. But then with social media, we get access to that. And I do feel like it's our responsibility to educate ourselves when someone says, hey, that's not okay to say, like that's a problematic phrase, to educate ourselves and realize why it's problematic and then change that, What? Caitlin says long time no see is also very problematic, and that's a really hard one to shake. I'll have to look that one up. Really? Interesting. I'll have to look that one up. I've never heard that one before. Wow. What's wrong? Okay. All right. Let's see. Where were the Nanny says T Public needs to sponsor you. That would be fabulous. I would take a T Public sponsorship in a heartbeat. I would take a tenth of what I get for a typical sponsorship to get sponsored by T Public. And thank you, Caitlin, for being so patient. I appreciate it. I think it's one of those things where the person's reaction to when you say like, hey, that what you just said really bothers me. I think that makes a difference. Yeah, cassette. That was the word I was looking for, Gigi. Cassette. John TV. So John TV wants to know what I bought for myself on Black Friday sales. So I ended up, I did get the ColourPop mystery box because I haven't done a mystery box unboxing in a really, really, really long time. So I figured I would get that. I got some stuff for my kids. I did get some Christmas presents for myself. I purchased some things. I got a Ninja, what is it? It's like a Ninja grill. When I was in college, the George Foreman grills, when those came out, it was like a huge thing. So when I was in college, I got myself one of those, and it was like life-changing for my dinner situation, like that I felt like I could actually cook like fresh chicken, in the George Foreman grill, because that's actually what it was. But Ninja has one that looks really cool. So I bought that for myself for Christmas. Oh, and happy Hanukkah to those who celebrate, by the way. I do believe that today's the first day of Hanukkah. It's either today or tomorrow, but I'm pretty sure it's today. Yeah, it's today. It's today. Thank you, John. Okay. All right. Robbie says, hey, Jen, good morning. I think you say good morning to the same people every morning. Maybe say good morning to a couple more people and leave out a couple of people. Oh, Robbie, you know what I do? How I pick who I say good morning? I scroll all the way to the top, and the people that are here first is who I say good morning to. So I'm sorry. I see that perspective, but then it's like, then I feel bad because they were here first. So shouldn't I don't know. I wish I could say good morning to everybody, but I totally see your point. Totally see your point. Oh, okay. So Caitlin's explaining. She says it was historically used as a way to make fun of indigenous people's lack of English skills and colonizers' assumption that they were unintelligent. Because it's long time no see is not like I haven't seen you in a long time would be the long sentence. So if you say long time no see, then it's like a broken English. So that's interesting. I never thought of it like that. Oh, Brianna, should I do a ColourPop unboxing and live chat for the mystery box? Maybe I will. Heidi got the Charlotte Tilbury mystery box. You know, this is the thing about mystery boxes, is I feel like with mystery boxes, there is a level of fun. It's kind of like the way that subscription boxes were when they first came out, where I feel like I got this like rush. Like it was like doing like this on a slot machine, you know? Like I felt like it was like this rush of what am I gonna get? You know, what's it gonna be? What's gonna be in the box? You know, I get that with mystery boxes. I don't necessarily get that as much with subscription boxes because the spoilers are everywhere now. So it's really hard to have that experience with a subscription box. But a mystery box, yeah. So I think it'll be fun. Heather says, one of the things I love best about you, Jen, is your continued support and growth and learning. I believe it's so important to strive or be our best selves every day. Well, I thank you so much for that, Heather, really and truly. I've come a long way. It's, you know, it's hard sometimes when someone criticizes you, especially when you're being criticized publicly, and when you're being criticized publicly by, you know, maybe 10, 15, 20, 100, 1,000 people criticizing you publicly. It's physically painful for me. So I've really been working on this past year, just trying to stop, take a deep breath, sit back and really listen. You know, because when you're angry, like you know this when you get in a fight with somebody, when you get in an argument with somebody, when your emotions are high, when your adrenaline is going, it's hard to listen. It's hard to sit back and digest what the person is saying when your heart's racing. So the most important thing that I've learned in the past year is to just take a deep breath and take a step back and really listen to what the person's saying instead of just reacting. And really, that was the past year that I've been really getting better at that. And I feel like I'm a better person for it. I feel like my relationships in my everyday life are better for it. My relationships online are better for it because it's sometimes you don't realize you have a problem until it's pointed out to you. Sometimes you don't realize that you could get better at something until you really mess something up. And yeah, I mean, I feel like it's been a growth and learning. Exactly what you're saying. You know, I feel like it's growth and learning, and it's sometimes it just takes a little while to figure things out, especially if you're in a habitual state of something when you've you know been a certain way your entire life, and then you realize that maybe there's a better way to be. Not that you're bad, not that you're a bad person, but maybe there's a better way to be. Maybe there's a better way to communicate. Maybe there's a better way to socialize, or to say things, or to interact with people. And you know, that's not an instant fix when you, especially as you get older. It's not an instant fix. It's a lot easier when you're younger to make fast changes. I was listening. I wish I could say it, but I like exactly what I heard. But as far as like brain plasticity and the myelin sheath and all of that stuff in your brain, and how much easier it is for neurological changes to happen when you're younger than when you're older. You know, it's the whole we can't teach a dog new tricks. I hopefully that's not offensive. I don't think it is. But you can't teach an old dog new tricks. You know, it's hard to change behavior when you get older. But you know, if you make a solid effort, then it can be done. It's just realizing it. Trying to scroll down and see what you all are talking about. Heidi says it's important to be open to change. Oh, totally. But I think that in order to be open to change, you have to be able to admit that the way you're currently doing it isn't necessarily the best way. And sometimes that's a process of learning that the way you're currently doing something isn't the best way. And in order to do that, you have to be able to, internalize that. And sometimes that experience can be extremely painful. And I think that's why a lot of people don't make changes, because that process of changing is painful. Realizing that you were wrong, no matter the situation, can be painful. And doing it in the public eye is even more, I think, because you have more people. Yeah. Andrea says change is always good. That's how we evolve. Oh, totally. Absolutely. Yeah, Leanne says, I hope people realize you never intend to offend anyone. If I ever do, as you do, always apologize. Yeah, totally. We're all human beings. We all make mistakes. And sometimes there's something that we think we understand, and then we realize we don't understand it anymore. Someone brings to our attention and says, hey, you don't really understand this the way that you think you understand it. And it's like, whoa, like, I guess I didn't understand that. And then it's your responsibility to educate yourself and figure it out. Um, so yeah, I mean, I never, absolutely never intend to offend anybody. Um, and I think that's a human thing. I think that we all, I think there are people that intend to offend people, but those are not people I spend much time with. People that intend to offend people. So yeah, I mean, I think sometimes people that don't know me think I intend to offend people, which is kind of odd, but I mean, they have a right to their opinion as well, but I can tell you I don't ever intend to offend people. But I think that the example at the beginning of chat, I think is a good example of, when you can say something and something just kind of slips out and then you're like, oh, that might have not been a good thing, and then you have to course correct. All right. What else is going on? Ooh, Indigo bought something cool. I bought the Dyson hairdryer with comb attachment with the Sephora sale, and I dried my hair in under 5 minutes. That's amazing. Is it the wide tooth comb one? Because I saw that they do have one of those. I was thinking about getting the attachment that's like it's new and it's like a curve thing, and it's supposed to help with flyaways, but I don't think they're selling it individually, and I need to see it actually work on somebody before I try it. But that's wonderful. I'm so glad, especially if you're spending that much money on something, you really want to make sure that it's worth it. So I'm really glad it's been worth it for you. That's wonderful. Audra says, but also as you get older, you require more about the why of something before just readily accepting it because you're taught to get evidence. That is a really important point, I think, because it's like, I'm wrong, but why am I wrong? Like and understand, because you can't just believe everything that everybody tells you. I think that's a really, really important point, Audra, but that's where I think it gets difficult because we need to be open to listening to people when they do tell us that they've been upset by something that we do. I think being open to that is really important. And the immediacy of needing to do that in the moment, I think, can get in the way of asking why. So something that I've learned, and actually something, Audra, that you've helped me with, is to, take some time. And I know that's a point you've made on your channel multiple times, is when you realize that you've made a mistake, to take some time to educate yourself before speaking about it again. And that's where I've messed up a lot in the past, is speaking on things too quickly, because the people saying, hey, you need to talk on this, you need to talk on this, you need to talk on this now. But finding out the why is really important. But that's something that happens in the background and something that happens back here, not, to the person that's been offended by what has been said. You know what I mean? But yeah, I do think as we get older, because we realize that there's a lot of people telling us stuff that's just BS, that's not real. So it's determining what's BS and what's real and what to take seriously and what not to. Because we're taught to collect evidence, but that evidence, when that evidence is collected, is an important factor, I think. And making sure to collect it privately and then sharing what you've learned over time. So yeah, Tiffany says it's also easier learning if you're not neurodivergent. Oh, totally. Yeah, that's true. That's definitely true. My rejection sensitive dysphoria has definitely made things a little more difficult for me, but we're pushing through it. We're pushing through it. Yeah, Angie, this is a great point. I wish people would just accept people with all their flaws and quirks, like me with my anxiety. Some people think I'm just being rude and antisocial. Yeah, and I think we all have our quirks. We all have our things that are, maybe not quite socially acceptable. I don't think that there's anybody that's socially perfect. And just kind of giving people a little bit of grace, giving people a little bit of a, you know, We were just talking about this with one of my family members, that he has some social things going on, and it's just taken us a little while to get to know him, to realize the social things going on, and that he's not trying to be rude. He's not trying to be offensive. It's just he just has a little more difficulty with those things, and since we've been giving him a little more grace, he's much more pleasant to be around, and we are enjoying that he's part of our family. So with Thanksgiving, there's so many things, at least in the US. I know Canadian Thanksgiving, I believe, was beginning of November, and I think they celebrate it in parts of Western Europe too. But anyway, point is whenever we're spending time with family, I think that's a time when those things really can come to the forefront, when there's conflicts in personality. Can really, really cause problems in those kinds of situations. I feel very thankful that both sides of our family, we get along pretty well, but I know that is not the way it is with a lot of families. Hmm. Good point, Jilly. Jilly says, I think we also need to give people the space to change. Sometimes we don't give people grace in these situations in favor of schooling them or correcting them. We can set boundaries without beating up people. And I think part of the schooling and correcting is a feeling of superiority. When you feel like you know something that somebody else doesn't know, it can feel really good as a human being to rub it in and be like, hey, I knew this and you didn't, and schooling and correcting them and making them feel bad about their mistake can make the other person really feel superior and feel good about themselves, that they knew something the other person didn't. And I do think we need to give people space to change. And I think as long as we see, through future actions, that the person's really trying to do better and to fix whatever the issue is. And it's also a matter of too, like, we were talking about this with Jaclyn Hill last week about, repeating the same problems over and over again, and really analyzing whether it's the same problem over and over again. Is it truly the same problem over and over again, or is it different problems rearing their head? Are they all rooted in the same issue with personality? Is it all rooted in the same thing that the person is working on? But they're different problems, different situations. So I think that it is important to give people space to change. And when people are actively saying, look, I'm trying, allow that to happen, especially if the person's not even in your life. You're not even having a daily life with that person. But it's up to each individual person, whether they want to forgive or not. So, yeah, Mary says maybe quirks are evolution in action. That's interesting. Maybe, maybe. Thriving and Beyond says, "You really learn who your true friends are when the ones who stick by your side during hard times are still there. Times when we aren't our best, can't give as much as we'd like." Yeah, oh, totally. And, in the last year, I have really learned who my friends are, 100%, 100%. You know? And the thing that I love about my friends is they don't let me get away with anything. My friends hold me accountable, and I love it. I absolutely love it. My friends are the ones that are my true friends, hold me accountable and help me to grow, not just hold me accountable and then run away. Um, and I am just so incredibly thankful to have quite a few people that I've met on YouTube. When we were talking about earlier, I was thinking about making this chat about people that I'm thankful for, and I was thinking about people that have been my friend for, the past 2, 3 years. And, there are people that I talk to that are acquaintances that I talk to every once in a while. And then there's people that are my friends that have really been there for me. And I am just so incredibly thankful for them, that they've had the patience and the grace and the kindness to stick with me through so many things, and I've helped them through things, and it's true friendship. And I'm so thankful, because good friends really are hard to find. There's a lot of cruddy people out there. And that's definitely something that I'm very, very thankful for. Um, this is interesting. Timothy says, "Has anyone received Jaclyn's jewelry? I think it's a bit pricey." No. Or is this Sherry? I'm not sure if this is Timothy or Sherry. Because sometimes people have both names. Sometimes it's the same person, but person, yes. I did not order any of Jaclyn's jewelry. It's just not my taste. It's very large. If I'm wearing jewelry, it's very small. I like little small charm necklaces and little small stud earrings, maybe tiny little hoops. Everything she has is very large, which is just not my personal style. I did hear some people were having some issues with it turning skin green. But I don't know like the validity behind that. I don't know how real that is, what their experiences are. I haven't looked into it, but I did hear some whispers that some people were having some difficulty with the quality. And I think Jaclyn saying, putting so much into that it wouldn't do that. I think people were going to find a way to make it do that no matter what. But I mean, it's possible that it's naturally happening to people too. I do think that it's a bit pricey, but I don't think it's out of the range for her. I mean, that's the price point of her makeup. It's a little bit more. I don't think that it's pricey for what it is, but that's just me. Hi, Shirley. Yeah, 4 years, I think, since we've been chatting, I think. Yes, totally. Totally. Oh, Joey says, we're talking about people we're thankful for. Joey says, I know this is off topic, but I want to thank you at Audra at Home for discussing your ADHD. My 18-year-old was just diagnosed, and you both helped me understand a great deal about it. That is so wonderful. I learn a lot from Audra about ADHD as well. I was diagnosed at 40, I think. It was either 40 or 41. I was diagnosed with ADHD, and Audra's taught me a ton about my own brain. I mean, when we are talking about earlier about social media and how social media, Lush says, is such a bad thing. Like, honestly, like my mental health, like there's certain things, of course, that have been bad about social media, but there's been so many good things, like just learning about ADHD and learning about how my brain works and, just knowing rejection sensitive dysphoria is a thing. That was so good for my mental health. Just putting a name on it was wonderful. Stephanie says Sephora is doing a 20% off in December. Really? For everybody or just another sale? I haven't seen that. Oh no, Jenny says I paid $80 for a necklace that turned my neck green. Really? Not from Jaclyn though. Was it from a different company or was it from Jaclyn? Yeah, Nanny says, that's what real friendship is. I'm glad you surround yourself with good people, Jen. We all need a good support system. Oh, totally. Absolutely. And I think it's really hard to find good friends, especially like working from home. It's really difficult. And I know that there are a lot of really good people that don't have good friends just because they haven't been able to connect and find other good people to be good friends with. I wish that there was a way for like a better way for like people that just want more friends to meet, like good people to meet people. Okay, Pretty Accountant says, I think for people whose skin is turning green, anything not solid gold or silver would turn their skin green. These people know their skin sensitivities. In this case, I think Jaclyn Hill is getting a bad rep. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely possible. I think that whenever this is the thing is whenever Jaclyn has a misstep, the people that like think about the first people that put up the photos of the lipsticks, like those photos are infamous, you know? So I think that some people may be trying to be the next lipstick people that put their first pictures up. I mean, the lipsticks are valid concerns, and it's possible that the jewelry is a valid concern. I don't know because again, I haven't looked into it. But I just want people to be fair. That's the thing. This is the thing about social media and social media influencers. Like, hold people accountable 100%, as long as it's fair. Like, present the whole picture. Like tell me the whole story so that I can make a good, solid decision. Don't just like tell this little piece and then like make judgments based on this little piece. At least present the whole thing, you know? So I would be curious to see how that one turns out. Turns out. Okay. Uh Okay, I'm gonna try really hard to say your name. Angela? Is that Angela? I would love if it was because then I would be able to say I got it right. I was recently told I had ADHD from my doctor and I'm in my mid-40s, so it's been new. Yeah. And I think that it's given me more answers than questions, which is fabulous. I've really enjoyed learning about that and learning about how my brain works so that I can better interact with people. So it's been wonderful. Erica says, I ordered the jewelry. The skin green thing was coming from the drama channels. Jaclyn said this would happen. Yeah. I mean, it pretty much happens with everything that Jaclyn releases. There's always an issue. And is it an issue because it's an actual issue, or is it an issue because people are making it an issue? And that's the $1,000,000 question. That's what it comes down to. And sometimes it's an issue because it's genuinely an issue. Oh, this is cool. LaShawn says, I've met two good friends on Bumble BFF. It's like dating, though. It is okay. But are they like Bumble BFF, so it's specifically for friends? That's so cool. Oh, I did get it right. Yay. Angela, I got it right. Yay. If you all want to ask any questions, I'd be happy to answer any questions. I saw something and then I lost it. Okay, Roya says, Jen, do you have a mass test message system? If you don't, I hope you consider getting one. I actually looked into it when they first started becoming popular, like when Philip DeFranco got one. It is really expensive. Like, it is obnoxious, like how expensive some of those text message systems are. Like, I don't remember because it's been a while, but I looked at it and I actually had a company reach out to me to ask me like whether I wanted to participate in it. And I was like, that is way, way over what I can pay for something like that. Like, because it has to turn into money somehow. There has to be some kind of return on investment. If I'm going to spend, however much I mean, I don't remember how much it was, but it was obnoxious. Like, I can't just but I think they're probably cheaper ones than the one that I was looking at. The one that I was looking at like is the one that like Philip DeFranco uses where you like can find out people's birthdays and send out birthday messages and stuff. Like it's really nice. Like the things that you can do. You can like target certain people based on, their demographics that they type into the system. But maybe one day in the future. Thank you for requesting it because maybe I can one day in the future. Or I can look into it again. Maybe there's a less expensive option than the one I was looking at, however long ago. I saw one and then I was like trying to find it and then I lost it. I lost it and I'm so sad. It was like it scrolled down. Ah, it's killing me. Yeah, Mary says check your favorite brand's websites for really good sales. Yes, I ended up for What's Up in Makeup today because there were so many sales. I ended up doing like a montage of sales. So it's just the image with music in the background and it's got like the name of the brand because rattling off all those sales would have been ridiculous. And also it gave me the opportunity to like later on put things in. So it's like I don't know how many are in there, like 30 different sales, something like that. But I feel like pretty much every website is having some kind of sale right now. Um, Sorry for the long pauses. I'm trying to find because most of the people are talking to each other. Okay, Sharon says, I used to feel I was unlucky that my ADHD wasn't caught in high school or college, but after both. But now hearing y'all, I guess being diagnosed late isn't that uncommon. It's not uncommon. And I feel the same way, Sharon. I wish that it was diagnosed earlier. My mother actually tried to get me diagnosed in high school. And because I was taking super easy classes and doing really well in them, they said that it was not a discrepancy with, my achievement. even though I probably should have been in higher level classes, but I couldn't do it. So because of the ADHD. So my mom did try. She put in her best effort, and I remember crying leaving there because I felt like I needed help, and it wasn't discrepant enough for me to get help. So now they have something called 504 plans where you can get help with things like ADHD without having an educational gap. But it didn't used to be like that. Mama Goonie, are you going to do a Beautylish Lucky Bag? Yes, I do plan on doing the Beautylish Lucky Bags. I do them every single year. I don't know if my kids are going to participate this year. We'll have to see because last year I think they looked a little miserable. But that's just like their normal, like I have a teenager, like, and they make that face all the time, the bored face. That's just what teenagers do. They just look bored all the time. Unless they're doing something specific that makes them happy. But being in mom's video is definitely not going to elicit joy like it did when they were, 6 and 9. So Thriving Beyond wants to know how the marshmallow business is going. It is going so good. I am like over the moon excited. It's going so much better than I ever thought that it could at this point. It's like at the tippy top of what I can handle. Like as far as production goes, it's like right there, like spilling a little bit over into the like a little too much production. So yeah, it's going really, really, really well. I'm now in a store called Locally Crafted. It's in a town called Gaithersburg, Maryland. It's a shopping area called Rio. And it's basically just like there's restaurants and there's stores and all different things. And there's like a big man-made lake with a bridge that goes over it. And it's absolutely beautiful. But there's all kinds of stuff to do down there. So Locally Crafted just opened about a month ago. And it's all things made by people that make things. So jewelry and clothing and excuse me, jewelry, clothing, soap, candles, and some food. So it has to be a relatively shelf-stable food. So marshmallows fit in perfectly. So they have like popcorn and they have jams and jellies and stuff. And it's just a wonderful little store. And the people that run it are amazing. It's a woman-owned business. There's 2 women that own it. And it's incredible. They also do like classes there. So they've been doing like decorate your own Starbucks cup classes, and they also did a chocolate tasting. They do things like that. So I could do like a marshmallow tasting one day, which I think would be super cool. I might do that someday in the future once I get my head screwed on straight. And then, so online sales have been good. And then I've been supplying them. I brought in a bunch of stock, and the first day that I brought in stock to Locally Crafted, half of it was sold. And it was like, oh my gosh, how am I going to keep up with this? Online sales have been good. And then also, I'm starting a new farmer's market next week. So we talked about this last week, but if you weren't here for that, starting next week, it'll be the first Sunday of December. I'm working a different market. It's called the Olney Farmer's Market. Olney Farmers and Artists Market. So I'm going to be there the first Sunday of every month. So chat is going to be at 5 p.m. on those days, but I'll keep reminding you. But thank you so much for asking. I appreciate you. Thank you. Jazzy Nicole wants to know, have you or will you ever review Chanel makeup and skincare? Probably not. Probably won't, because it's like, that's real expensive. I don't know. See, when I first started my channel, I had a bad experience with Dior makeup where I did not have the money to be buying Dior. Did not. Bought an eyeshadow palette thinking it was going to be the best thing, and it was awful. It was so bad. It was a holiday Dior palette. And I was like, what in the actual hell is this? I was like, oh my gosh. So after that, I was kind of jaded against super luxury names like Chanel. So, I mean, it may be amazing. I don't know. But I probably won't, to be honest. Michelle Wong is your source. Not me. And maybe one day, just not in the near future. I can't imagine. Caitlin wants to know, ETA on when will one day be able to buy marshmallows out of state? I don't know. I honestly don't know, because right now I'm at the tippy top of what I can produce. So I would have to be in the commercial kitchen, and I would also have to have a way to produce things faster. Because right now I can produce about 8 boxes an hour, which is, and that's not counting packaging them. That's just producing them. So after they're made, they need to set, and then they need to be cut, and then they need to be boxed, and they need to be shrink wrapped. The boxes need to be labeled and shrink wrapped. So just the production of one batch of marshmallows takes an hour. And that's 8 boxes. And I am like I need to be in a different situation with maybe hiring somebody to help me make them in order to do that. And I'm just not there yet. So, I mean, I launched in September. The end of September was my first sale. So I'm hoping by next September. That would be cool. But I think that might be, I don't know if I'm going to make it by then. We'll see. I'm hoping by next September because I have to fix the melting issue at this point. That's my big thing, is that when they get warm, they melt and they don't necessarily go back to their proper texture. So shipping marshmallows in the summertime is going to be a huge challenge. So that's another thing I have to work out. So there's a lot of things. But thank you for asking. I would love to be able to sell them out of state. Trust me, but I want to make sure it's done right. I don't want people to get melted marshmallows, and I want to make sure that I'm doing everything legally right. And it just takes a while, unfortunately. Erica wants to know if I have any makeup collabs coming up in the future. No. I do have sponsored videos, but I don't have any collabs coming up. I've kind of put that stuff on the back burner because I'm really working on my other business. So the amount of YouTube that I'm doing right now is perfect for how much I'm doing outside of YouTube. It's difficult to do both. I've stopped. I've been much less social, let's just say, because I just haven't had time. It's taken up all of my time, the 2 jobs. So yeah, makeup collabs, it's just too much for now. But maybe in the future, I would love to do another collab at some point. Stephanie wants to know, do you think there'll be any new and good Cyber Monday deals come out as of late? Maybe, possibly. I mean, we're hearing about that Sephora is going to be doing a 20% off thing first week of December. So that would be super cool. Yeah, I don't remember what the comment was, Jen. I have no idea. I have no idea what that was. Oh, what am I wearing today? Thank you for the reminder, Anna. I've been just chatting my face off. Let's talk about what's on my face today real quick. So this is all stuff that you've seen before that I'm just playing with and kind of getting a handle on. So on my eyes today, I played with the Hindash palette a bit. This was sent to me by Hindash. I'm still working on figuring out how to use this. I've watched some tutorials, but I'm still trying to figure out how I personally want to use it and how it fits into my routine. It's very nice. It's the quality of it is fabulous. It's just figuring out like how to work it in, So I'm working on that. Also on my eyes today, this was sent by Ipsy. This is the Danessa Myricks Vision Flush and Tiara. And this is mostly what I have on my eyes today. And I'm not sure. I think I might have applied it too thick because I started getting a little bit of creasing before it dried down. It's a beautiful shade, but it does have a little bit of an oily texture to it. So that might be why I'm getting a little bit of creasing. So I don't know if I'm going to use this as a single shadow anymore, or if I'm just going to use it as a highlighter. I think it makes a beautiful highlighter, but I don't know if this is going to work for eyeshadow. You'll have to tell me, because this is supposed to be for you can use it for anything, this formula. So you have to tell me if you've used these Danessa Myricks products on the eyes. Are you getting creasing? Is there a special way that you use them? Do you always set them? Because I didn't set it. So maybe if I set it, maybe that'll help. But I would love to know because I want to get more into Danessa Myricks products. I've heard such wonderful things. On my cheeks today, Patrick Ta, this is purchased. She's Seductive. Been enjoying this. It does take some building, but I've been enjoying that. And then I also use for highlight the Laura Lee Blush Aesthetic Palette, the Golden Haze shade. This was sent in PR. And then on my lips today, it took me a while to get back there. This is the Sephora Lip Stories shade in Yum Yum. It does not smell like cookies, unfortunately, but that's all that's on my lips today. So yes, that is what's on my face. Thank you, Anna, for asking that because I almost forgot. Christine says, Jen, I just want to thank you for showing us your skincare routine. So good. A classic Jen video, very informative. I'm so glad you enjoyed it. I haven't done a good skincare ingredient video in so long. I used to be very ingredient heavy on the channel, and I do believe I was one of the first people to talk about makeup and skincare ingredients on YouTube. And then so many people started doing it and doing it very well. So I just kind of was like, well, let them do it. Like, I don't know. I just kind of got a little like, okay, I guess I'm not the only one doing that anymore. So just let them do it. So I don't know. I just kind of got a little like, okay, with it. But I did enjoy doing that video. It was a good video. I think it came out good. Some people getting a little irritated with me because I'm using an SPF 15. And I get it. I get it. SPF 30 is really where you should be. 30 to 50 is where you should be. But as someone who spends 95% of my life in my house, the other 5% is walking to the mailbox and or driving 10 minutes to my grocery store and walking to the grocery store and back. I feel like in the winter months, SPF 15 is fine for me. But I mean, it's because I particularly like this formula. If I have to choose between an SPF 15 and an SPF 30 and I'm in the store, I'll pick the 30. But this particular sunscreen was sent to me in PR, and I happen to just really enjoy the texture of it. I love the way it layers under makeup. So that's what I'm using. I mean, I get like somebody straight up said that I was being irresponsible by recommending SPF 15. The SPF 15 doesn't do anything. SPF 15 does do something. I can guarantee you that it does. I grew up, we've talked about this before. I grew up with SPF. I grew up with starting with an SPF 6. So when you first go out in the sun, this was what we did when I was a child. So when you first go out in the sun, you do an SPF 6 so that you don't burn. And then you work your way to an SPF 4 and then down to a 2 and then to nothing or baby oil. And that was how I spent my childhood. And there was a huge difference between SPF 6 and SPF 4 and SPF 2. I don't even think they make those anymore because it's not enough. But there is a difference between SPF 15 and nothing. If you find an SPF 15 that you like, it is much better than using nothing. And I think that it would be bad to tell people that SPF 15 does nothing. Because if that's the sunscreen that the person likes, it's way better than using nothing. And if you are, I mean, I spend, like I said, 95% of the time in my house. So it's like, I feel like SPF 15, spending time in my house is fine for me. But I get that, using SPF is a huge anti-aging skincare, if you want to call it a hack. So SPF 30 to 50 is ideal. I just happen to really like this one. And I'm not going to lie to people. I'm not going to lie to you and say I'm using SPF 30 when I'm not. Like, I'm not going to do that. I actually use the coolest sunscreen today. That's SPF 30, I think, because the sunscreen's still down here. It's still sitting here. So I haven't used it the past few days. I've been using the Coola SPF 30 that I also really like. So yeah. So I think that it's important when we're sharing our skincare routines that we're honest about it, and also that we allow people to make the choices that are right for them. And if you're spending a lot of time in the sun, even if it's in the winter, you should be wearing a higher SPF. So that's just my opinion. So that was an interesting comment where it was kind of like, I get it. I mean, I get where the person's coming from totally. Like, yeah, for the average person, if you're spending a lot of time outside. But for me, I don't know if I necessarily need an SPF 30 all the time, especially if I'm in the house all day. So yeah, exactly, Jaclyn. That's exactly the way that I feel. The best SPF is the one that you actually wear. Totally. Totally. Oh, a little bit off topic, but I love this. Rochelle says, Jen, I keep forgetting to thank you for sharing City Pop order. I love it. I am like so all about the City Pop. City Pop Denver. How many times, John, do you think I've ordered from City Pop? Like 6? Something like that. Right now, I have a bag. I'm not even kidding you. It's like legit. Let me put this away a second. It's legit like this big of their mac and cheese flavored popcorn. It's my favorite. It is like, I think is it 24 cups, I think, which is not even their largest size. They have one that's like 120 cups of popcorn. Like, how do you ship that? How do you ship over 100 cups of popcorn? I don't know. But the mac and cheese popcorn, I swear, I cannot stop. It is the best cheese popcorn I've ever had in my entire life. Color Me Lisa says, can you ever have too much SPF? I don't think so. I don't think so. But it's definitely all about the ones that that you use, you know. Gigi says, Jen, if you started Retin-A, I have been hesitant to start any kind of prescription skincare because I know that a lot of people do not have access to prescription skincare. And I feel like it's kind of like why I don't go get facials. Like I don't get facials. I don't like do any of the things that are beyond buying things in stores because or buying things online because I want like people to have general access to whatever's happening. If I ever stop reviewing skincare, I might do something like that because I've heard wonderful things for people with, you know, not just anti-aging, but acne for Retin-A. Thriving Beyond says, there was an orange gelée that came in a white tube that I used to love, SPF 4, and I thought I was doing something good. Well, SPF 4 is better than SPF nothing. It is. It genuinely is better than nothing, but it's not adequate. As if you're spending time in the sun. I mean, if you're in your house all day, I don't know. But I would not choose an SPF 4. SPF 15 is as low as I go. Because yeah, okay, so I haven't researched this in a long time, so I could be incorrect on this, but I do believe that the SPF that's on there is about like how they determine it is about how long the SPF lasts, like how long it takes for you to be outside for you to burn is what SPF is. I'm pretty sure. That's what I have in my brain, and I hope that I'm representing that correctly. So if you're not spending much time outside, then do you need a higher SPF? I don't know. But yeah, I'm pretty sure it's based on how long you're out in the sun, and that's how they determine it. Like they put it on people and then they look to see how long it takes them to get a burn. Pretty sure. Jen, is foundation with SPF enough? I think that if it's better than nothing, but I personally do not think so because you can't make it thick enough for it to be the SPF that's on the bottle. So like if I have a foundation that says SPF 15, I can't put it on thick enough like that I can put this on. I can put a lot of this on and make it nice and thick, but I can't really do that with foundation because it's going to look weird. So you're really bumping down the SPF of what's on the bottle by how thin you put it on. So I personally say no, it's not enough, but it's better than nothing. I use SPF every day. So the SPF I use, if like I have a tinted moisturizer or a foundation, like that will be the extra bonus SPF. Teresa Thompson, hi, I'm dealing with adult acne and it's driving me crazy. Never had acne. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that you're having trouble with that and that it's bothering you. Have you tried a BHA chemical exfoliant? Well, first, have you tried talking to a dermatologist? Because I am not a professional. I am not somebody that can give professional advice. But from what I've heard, the best things for acne prone skin is BHA chemical exfoliators. So like salicylic acid. I was actually just talking to my sister-in-law about it yesterday and how that's really changed her skin for the better with her adult acne. Yeah, Rocio says the issue too is how much you apply. If you use SPF 15, but you under apply it, you end up having an 8 protection. That's probably why sometimes it's recommended to use higher. Yeah, totally. I think that's a great way to articulate it. Afra says it is recommended to use sunscreen under makeup. Yeah, totally. Oh my gosh, I can't believe we're almost done with chat already. Like what? I have marshmallows to make. I'm making chocolate covered cherry today. And if I have time, I'm making strawberries and cream. If not, I'm making strawberries and cream early in the morning tomorrow or late at night tonight, one or the other. I have it all to do. We're having a bunch of friends over today for Friendsgiving. Not a bunch, but people from John's tattoo studio, my best friend. It's not a huge gathering, but we're having some people over. So now I got to get into all of that. We did it a minute ago. Angela, there are some good retinols you can buy without needing a doctor. Yes, this one. This is the one. This one's my favorite one right now. My favorite retinol right now, the Sunday Riley. Went over all of that fabulous stuff in that video, but yeah, that's my favorite right now. But I don't think it's as prescription strength. I think this is as close from what I've heard to prescription strength that you can get over the counter. All right. I'm trying to think what else we can chat about. Do y'all have any other questions about anything? Lisa says, I think I need to find sweet chili Thai popcorn spice. Any ideas? That sounds interesting. I don't know if I would be able to handle that. I got from City Pop, I got their one that's like called hot wings. So there's ones that taste like basically like Frank's hot sauce. And then there's blue cheese ones. And that set my mouth on fire. Like I had to drink it with milk, and John's like, are you having milk with your popcorn? I'm like, yes, I am. I am having milk with my popcorn because I cannot with how spicy this is. I cannot do it. I'm such a wimp. Yeah, Karen says, even indoors during daylight hours, you should still wear SPF. Light still comes in through your windows unless you have them blacked out or something. If you see the sun at all, wear it. Yeah, and absolutely. I think that I've read that it's not like that. A lot of like news media outlets have exaggerated how much sun damage you can get through the windows. Basically, like making articles saying that you can get more sun damage through windows than is actually real. That it was done for like clickbait, kind of, just to have an article to kind of freak people out, to create a fake outrage. But that doesn't mean you can't get any sun damage from the light that comes in through your window. But I did hear that is overblown, that claim that you can get significant sun damage through the windows of your home. But in my opinion, I still like to wear sunscreen even though I'm not going out most of the time. I still wear like my SPF 15 even if I'm not going out. And for me, that's enough. But you have to decide what's best for you. And there's no reason to use an SPF 15 when you have an SPF 30. Like, there's really no reason. I only use this because it was sent to me and because I really like it. So if this was, if I had to pick between this exact same formula and SPF 30 and this one, I would pick a 30, 100%. Because there's no reason to buy an SPF 15, like really and truly, unless there's something special about that formula. But yeah, I need to look into that more. But I did hear that that's been like not debunked, but that claim has been exaggerated. I don't know, like, if that's, a thing.
Katie wants to know if you can recommend any YouTube channels, not necessarily beauty. What are you watching right now?
YouTube channels and not beauty from Katie?
Not necessarily.
Okay. I haven't been watching a lot of YouTube lately. Let's look on my phone and see what I've been watching. I have not been watching a lot of YouTube lately. I've been rewatching Supernatural for the third time, like in the cracks. I've been so freaking busy, my friends. Like I have not like even been like I've just been constantly moving for the past like month. Have not stopped. Let's see. In my subscription feed, I have Jessica Braun, Seeking Alexandria. I have Teresa's Dead, Angelica Newquist, Dr. Lee, if you're looking for great skincare advice. Let's see. Audrey at Home, Lauren May Beauty, ASMR Joni, who is one of my favorite ASMR artists. I love her so much. I started watching Dr. Gary Linkoff. Wait, is that what his name is? Dr. Gary Linkoff, City Facial Plastics, because I find plastic surgery absolutely fascinating and I really like him. GB ASMR, of course. I have to have her on here. Tara Babies. Those are some of the channels. I have Haley Road Bieber on here, but I haven't watched her channel since she started it. ASMR Glow, Tina Marie, who does a lot of Bath and Body Works. She's like a Bath and Body Works channel. If you like Bath and Body Works, Tina Marie is like, just type in Tina Marie Bath and Body Works, you will find her. She like knows everything there is to know about, like all the sales and all the best things, like knows everything. I've been following her forever. Absolute History, SciShow, Alicia Archer. Love her. Also used to be known as Kinky Sweat. Yeah, Samantha March. Those are the most recent ones. Pop Lux. Simply Not Logical. Simply Nailogical. But I do the Simply Not Logical one. Graveyard Girl, Allie Glines. Those are some of the ones I've been watching. Well, not necessarily watching, but those are the people that are in my subscription feed that I would love to watch when I have time. That was a great question. Oh, there it is. I see it. Would you maybe recommend some other YouTube channels that you're loving right now? It doesn't have to be a beauty niche. Found it, Katie. Found it. But yeah, I should probably go. I don't want to go because that means I have to do all the other things. I'd rather sit here and hang out with you. But I hope you have a lovely holiday season. I will see you again next Sunday at 5 p.m. Eastern time because I am working that market, which I'm excited. It'll be my first time being at that market. So I'm very, very excited about that. But yeah, wrap this up. Thank you for being here and mad love to you. And I will see you in a video very, very soon. Stay safe. Remember, do not buy. It's cheaper to not buy from a sale than to buy things on sale that you don't need or want. If you don't need it and you don't want it, don't buy it even on sale because you save money and you end up with a bunch of crap in your house that you don't want because you bought it when it was on sale and you didn't even want it really. You just bought it because it was on sale. Don't do that. Save your money. Buy things you really want, even if it's not on sale. That's my soapbox. All right. I will see y'all soon. Mad love. Bye.